on the missiles were so scrambled that they could not fly. This happened on multiple occasions. The Apollo astronaut and American hero, Dr. Edgar Mitchell, publicly confirmed the overall story in 2015, and the media widely reported on it. Here's an excerpt from The Mirror. Dr. Mitchell told us military insiders have seen strange crafts flying over missile bases in the famous White Sands facility, where the world's first ever nuclear bomb was detonated in 1945. My own experience talking to people has made it clear that the ETs, extraterrestrials, which these were angels, had been attempting to keep us from going to war and help create peace on Earth. And that's basically what he, thought. Which they're not trying to create peace on the Earth. They're just carrying out orders from the Heavenly Father, because at that time, it wasn't the time for the nuclear destruction to happen. All right. And matter of fact, let's go to Psalms to show you that the angels are obedient to the Heavenly Father. All right, this is Psalms 103 and 20. It says, "Bless the Lord, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word, his orders. Bless ye the Lord, all ye his hosts, you ministers of his that do his pleasure." Okay? So they do what the Heavenly Father tells them to do. All right? So at that time, it was not the time for World War III to begin. All right? This was coming after World War II. And then right after that, it segued into the Cold War. You see? That's when NATO got, built up. The EU got together with America, and they formed the beast system. And then, you had Gog and Magog. They were the Soviet Union, but they lost their power. But then, over the course of time, their technology began to advance and increase, and now they're becoming a superpower once again. And now they have even technology that's even more sophisticated and advanced than the technology that the U.S. holds. And that's the Lord basically putting that hook into the jaws of Gog and Magog. Okay? Restoring them back to that power, because the bear is going to play a vital role in the taking down of this beast. Mainly the great whore, man, Babylon, that rides the beast. So the Lord is putting the spirit on the leaders of these nations to prepare for this time. And that's the Lord is using the angels to do that. Okay? So the Lord knows when to turn things down and when to turn things up. He sends his angels to do it. Okay? Now let's go from there to Revelation 16, because you have the angels that are bound in the Middle East. All right? And they're making sure that things are going according to the Lord's plan. Revelation 16. In verse 12, it says, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." Now, so he's setting up, the valley of Jehoshaphat. The angels are doing that. Okay? Got them armies all drawn out and gathered right over there in that barren desert, man, surrounding basically the Middle East, that barren desert over there in Saudi Arabia. Okay? Got the Persian Gulf, you got Iran, in which, they're preparing to go to war with Iran. You got Israel over there, which is occupied by Amalek right now. Okay, you got a lot of tension in Syria, a lot of proxies happening over there. Okay, Lebanon, so on and so forth. Okay? And jumping down, verse 16, and it says, "And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, or Harmageddon, which means mountain of the troops." Okay? So the angels are making this happen. All right, and now let's go to Revelation, the 7th chapter, because this is where this all ties in. Revelation 7 and 1, it says, "And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth." You see that? Basically holding back the winds of the earth. Okay? Because on this day, it's gonna let off high, tremendous winds. You see? That's what's gonna happen. Okay, it says that the wind should not bow, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. So they're holding back the winds of destruction. The people and the the greenery, the trees don't get destroyed. They have to hold that back. You see, that's what's going on. All right. And it says, verse 2, it says, "And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power." And just imagine if those nuclear missiles would have went off back then. Some of the elect were still not born yet. So the Lord gave them the orders to, prevent this war from taking place. Because when those nuclear warheads detonate, those are the winds that lets off. See? So it says, I'll read it again. It says, "And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads." And we already know that's talking about the 144,000. Okay, so don't let this pop off until all my servants are sealed, until they all got the knowledge, the wisdom, the true name of the Father and the Son. Okay, so the Lord is in control. So let me go back to the book, and it says Mitchell also suggested he had heard similar stories from people who manned missile bases during the most tense part of the 20th century. I have spoken to many Air Force officers who worked at these silos during the Cold War. He continued, "They told me UFOs were frequently seen overhead and often disabled their missiles. Other officers from bases on the Pacific coast told me their test missiles were frequently shot down by alien spacecraft." And you see that Esau's what he's propagating the news, calling them aliens, which the super elite, the top elite, they know that those are not aliens; they're actually the angels of the Lord. All right, let me get Psalms 68. It's Psalm 68 and 17. It says, "The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai, in the holy place." Let's go from there to Psalms, was it 104? Yep, this is Psalms 104, 3 verse 4. It says, "Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire." Okay? So what the so-called white man calls a UFO, or what they call now, I think they call it aerial. It's a new term that they call it now, man. I forget what it's called. I think it's called aerial extraterrestrial phenomenon or something to that effect. I forget. All right, but basically we know them as the angels, man. They're the chariots of Israel. Those are the vehicles of our salvation. Okay, and this devil, seeing that activity, always spying out in the outer space, in the heavens, they always been nervous and expecting for there to be, some type of invasion. You heard was it Ronald Reagan who kept talking about that? Because these devils, they know that there's a higher power. There's higher beings out there that patrol, through the realms. Okay, and they've been behind a lot of deteriorations when it comes to a lot of the things that Esau is trying to have done. All right, they've been throwing a lot of monkey wrenches. The Lord's been stopping them. If the Lord allowed this devil to go like just loose, like completely, man, it would be no flesh left to be saved. That's why the Lord got to shorten the days now, man. And he's doing that. That's why these days are speeding by. And this devil is trying to move quick all of a sudden. And you can see it. Okay? Anyway, so let's go back into it. It says, on September 27, 2010, Robert Hastings held an event at the National Press Club in which 7 U.S. Air Force veterans shared their personal testimony about these encounters. It is very likely that Dr. Mitchell spoke with some, if not all, of these insiders. According to Hastings' website, to date, Hastings has interviewed more than 150 military veterans who were involved in various UFO-related incidents at U.S. missile sites, weapons storage facilities, and nuclear bomb test ranges. The events